Hey guys, I have a package here from Amazon and it's for today's video, which I have been wanting to film for a while now. If you notice my little, they're kind of far in the background, but my little Micans are there, which means we're finally gonna stake them today. This is the pot that I want to put my Micans in, but I was not expecting the box to be so huge. I bought a trellis. Oh. Okay, so these are the trellises that I bought and they're made of bamboo. I feel like I could have definitely made them myself, but I don't have time for that. Okay, here they are, two bamboo trellises. Let me move this box out of the way. So these are 2 feet tall. I kind of was expecting them to be taller. I don't know why. The quality, I feel like it's pretty okay. I can't remember the price, but I feel like I looked at it and I was like, maybe I should make it on my own. So it was kind of more than I would have liked to pay, but let's take them apart so that I could start staking. All right, this is the one, actually. This one has a smaller bottom, and I want to put it in this pot. I know this pot looks small, but my plants aren't really that big, so I wanted to put it in a smaller pot, and it barely fits in here, so I'm gonna put it in this pot. This is a 6-inch pot, I think. I already have my soil set up because I ran out, so I just poured the rest of what was in my little box to use. So I'm gonna just start off by putting the bottom layer. Here are my Micans, and they are thirsty right now. This one looks so bare compared to this one. But that's okay. That's why we're staking them, so that they could be full and luscious, because this just looks like a sad little, oh my gosh, oh baby. Okay. So let's start by switching this over. And I don't think I need to change out the soil, but it does look like there are a lot of roots. Here are the happy roots. I feel like happy roots is what matters. The foliage looks a little bit sad, but its roots look pretty happy, so that's a good thing. And I'm just gonna loosen it up a little bit. I don't wanna like separate the different stems. I wanna just leave it how it is as much as possible. And I'm gonna turn it to face where I'm putting the trellis. This looks a mess. Okay, let me try and show you better. So everything's flopped on this side, and I'm gonna plant it this way so that when I put the trellis on, it's gonna be like this. And the leaves are all gonna be upside down, but they'll turn the right way eventually. So I'm gonna put this in here and get my other one out, which I don't know. These roots seem like they're pretty large too. They're baby. So not as many roots, but they're still healthy, which is, like I said, all I could ask for from this scraggly little plant. Oh wow, I thought it had less water than it actually does. So I kind of do want to change out a lot of this soil. I'm just kind of fumbling it around to loosen up the roots, the root area, and not spreading it apart either, but I am messing with the roots more on this one than the other one because I don't really like the soil this is in. So there we go. This one has a lot less soil left over, and I'm going to do the same exact thing that I did with my other one and put it in so that it's going to be this way. It's looking so crazy right now. This is going to be so much to detangle. Oh my gosh. Okay. And this is when we put the trellis in. This trellis barely fits, by the way. So I'm going to hope it doesn't pop back out. Kind of squeezing the edges. Okay, here it is. It is a blob of leaves that I'm gonna have to separate out, kind of attach them to the trellis. I have this, which is like tomato ties. It's used for tomatoes. And I'm gonna cut it into smaller strips because this is pretty wide. And if I had like twine or something, I think it would be better. But I don't know where it is, or I used it all. I think I used it all. So we're going with this. And I'm gonna cut strips out of it. I'm not planning on tying it in a lot of places, probably just pinning it to the topmost part that it's on. I've never staked anything to a trellis, so that is going to be an interesting new thing. But really the main thing that I'm worried about is the detangling, because look at this mess. I'm thinking maybe I should cut it because the leaves are going to get bigger and it's going to be weird just to have all these small leaves, and also it's going to be impossible to try and sort through. I'll just try my best right now because I kind of do want to see how it would look with everything up. So I'm probably going to speed through this part for you guys. So I finished and it really looks like a big, huge mess. And I didn't even end up needing to use any of this because you kind of just wrap it around and they stay up. I don't know how I feel about this. It looks very crazy, very wild. I think after some time, like adjusting to this, to being on this stake, it will be better. I think that if I were to give some tips on if you're gonna stake a plant up like this, I would definitely separate the clumps. Like I was showing you the two different plants and I didn't really separate each stem. I kind of went out of my way to say I'm not separating each stem, so I would have separated each stem. I'm not going to redo this because I feel like it will straighten out, but to make it look the best and be the easiest, then I would have gone ahead and separated everything out. I think actually if you're planning on staking anything, just get it in there as soon as possible. Like as soon as you get your cutting, put it in there, because the longer your plant is, I think it's more difficult to stake, because when you put a plant in on a stake or trellis and it grows according to that trellis, it looks a lot better. Like my little Siltepecana here has grown on this trellis and you could see the leaves are all formed to it. You could tell it grew onto the trellis. So I think it's just more orderly and the plant will look nicer. Also, when plants grow upwards, their leaves get bigger and you can see the leaves are small up here, and that's actually why I'm staking it, because I want the leaves to get bigger. So I'm gonna keep this outside because it does not fit under my grow lights. So I'm gonna keep it outside in my porch, on my porch, which is east facing, so it gets some direct morning sunlight. And I think it's gonna be really good for this plant. I think this plant is gonna love this stake eventually. And since I have two more, I'm gonna find two more little plants to put on here. I don't have an idea of which ones yet, but I know that I wanna use these because I like this stake. They are pretty small, so I would say philodendrons, and yeah, philodendrons in general are really good for these, like the heartleaf philodendrons, or if you want to stake a pothos on one of these, that would be good. Definitely like a not very crazy intense plant or a heavy plant, if that makes sense, because They are made of bamboo. I could definitely make this myself. Bamboo sells pretty cheap in this form. That's actually literally what I've been staking all my plants on. Like, for example, this one right here is on a bamboo pole that is exactly the same as these. Actually, it's a little bit thinner, but I do have the tools that I need to make this. So I don't know. I wouldn't be able to put it through the center like this though, so maybe for that reason it's worth it. It was really easy to order and get. You know how it is. So if you're not feeling like crafting a whole trellis, I think this is pretty good. But like I said, it's made of bamboo. It's not super durable. But for this purpose, I think it's perfect. That's it for the video. I feel like it was a little bit short, but I hope you enjoyed it regardless. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!